I've just been sitting here having a bit of quiet time. The kids are at school. Jesse's asleep. I've done my loads of laundry. So I am winning at my day so far. And I've just been thinking and praying and doing a bit of reading and decided to capture this thought process in case it's helpful to someone else. Because God has been doing lots of things in us since we moved here to America to start this church. And I made a video a couple of weeks ago about some of the things that have been unexpected or the things that have surprised us. But there was one thing that I left off the video because I think it was still in process, or I didn't know how to word it. But the thing that's been really surprising to me and very unexpected for me personally is how much of a wrestle I would experience around my confidence being here. And it's not been anything overwhelming or crazy. I've not turned into a timid hermit who can't leave the house or anything. But I've definitely been more aware of an internal wrestle for my confidence. There's definitely been a greater degree of self-doubt, self-critique, self-analysis, and just feeling like I'm somehow not qualified or not able to do the things that God's putting in front of us here in America. Like my voice doesn't really have anything to say, or like I don't really know how to approach the situations that are in front of me. And that's unfamiliar for me because I'm generally quite confident. Well, what I realise is the arenas of confidence that I had back home in the UK were basically tied to the fact that everything was familiar. And so I think what I had been calling confidence was actually comfort. You know, I knew the people around me. I knew the role that I had to hold. I knew the people I was reaching out to. I knew what was required of me in different settings. And that familiarity bred comfort, and comfort feels like confidence sometimes. But actually here, everything is new. It's all completely different. There's different people, there's different faces. And I think that unexpectedly, that requires something different of you. But God's really been showing me that new places require new confidence, not just your old level of confidence. You have to rise to a new level. And it's amazing to me that that's been required because God has been so obviously with us at every single step of this journey. He's brought answered prayer, he's brought provision, he's just put his grace over everything. And yet, sometimes I've still felt like maybe I'm getting things wrong or I'm not in the right place at the right time. But that truth that new places require new confidence has been something that he has been showing me again and again and again in the last few weeks. And so it's something that I've been able to share with my kids. It's something that I've been able to, you know, let other people in, that it's not bad, it's not hard, it's not wrong, it's just new. And new places require new confidence. And that's the same whether it's a job opportunity or a role or responsibility or a relationship. You know, if it's new, it just isn't comfortable for a minute. But you have to rise your confidence to meet that lack of comfort and go on regardless. So that's been something that God's been doing in me that's a little bit unexpected. And I was hesitant about whether to share it because really I want to make videos here that just capture the journey and the things that we're doing and the fun stuff about connecting with America so that anybody who knows us back home can just follow along our journey. But I really feel like if just one person gets something from this, then it's all worth it, me pouring my heart out over a video. So I'm just going to explain a little bit of what God's been showing me. God has been showing me that confidence is not like some reservoir that can overflow or can drain out. You know, we say things a lot like, oh, I've really lost my confidence, or I just need a confidence boost, as if it's some like tank of water that needs topping up every now and then, or that's going to drain away if you turn your back. I really don't think that's what confidence is. I think confidence is a muscle that we need to exercise. It's actually something that we need to build into and work hard to develop. It doesn't just fall from the sky and drop onto us, even though I think we probably all like that. So I've definitely felt that, like, oh, my confidence is draining and, you know, I need to plug all the gaps and try and put a brave face on and feel better. But actually, God's been showing me that just like with physical muscles, what you consume affects how you build confidence. So what I take in, the things that I watch, the things that I listen to, the things that I read. Obviously, the Bible is the biggest thing that God has given us that can grow our confidence, that can strengthen that muscle of confidence. You know, the Bible tells us that faith is confidence. Faith is confidence in the things that we do not see. And so it's no wonder that there's like a wrestle for this, because the enemy would love to drain our confidence. He would love to make us feel like it's out of our hands, that it's been lost and we can't get it back. But actually God shows us that you can develop it. You just have to be tuning into the right things. And his word is the primary place that we get to build our confidence, because that's where we get to understand that he's in control, not us. That it's in his hands, not our hands. It's in his strength, not our strength. But he uses us. You know, confidence is knowing that we get to be a part of the great exchange, and faith operates through us to other people. So we're not out of the equation, but it doesn't all rest on our abilities and our strengths and our understanding. So reading the Bible and knowing how great and powerful our God is a huge part of what I consume to grow that muscle of faith. But also stuff like social media, the articles that we read, the things that we listen to, you know, we're all taking on board nutrition in those environments. And it can either be stuff that's going to grow that muscle of confidence in us and strengthen it, or it's going to be things that weaken it and limit our ability to build stronger foundation of confidence in our lives. But also, just like with physical muscles, it's the things that we do that actually build our confidence. I think we would all love for a greater portion to fall from heaven, for us to just walk out the door and feel ready to reach and preach and disciple people and have all the answers. But actually, we only get ourselves into those situations when we step out and start doing those actions and grow by experience and grow by the wisdom of trying something, maybe getting it wrong, but adjusting and going again. I think that I've never done it, but when you train for something, you have a strict diet and you have a strict regime of like getting yourself to the gym. It doesn't make any sense to just try and make yourself look and feel better before you walk into the gym to train. The whole reason you go to the gym is to begin to feel and look better. And yet I think sometimes in faith, we want to get it all together behind closed doors and then step out being the finished product. And actually God's asking us just train in confidence. You don't have to be fully confident. You have to go out and do the things I'm asking you to do, and then your confidence muscle will grow stronger. So that looks like starting the conversation when you don't know how it's going to end, or reaching people, or using your voice, or like posting a video about things that you're processing still, and letting people in on that journey, but knowing that God doesn't need the finished article. He just needs you to step out and move in some direction. So yeah, God's been showing me new places require new confidence. No wonder the old confidence doesn't fit. That's not where you are anymore. This is new, and there's new provision for that. But confidence gets strengthened like a muscle. And that means what you take on board and what you do with that muscle will affect how quickly and how strongly it can grow in your life. And I think as I'm learning all of these things, I might just put out a couple of other videos about some of the things that God's showing me in this season of newness that is helping me to remind myself of the confidence that God has given me, and the ways to build that when it feels like it's weakened. So I'm just going to do that over the next couple of weeks. And if that's interesting to you or helpful to you, then please follow along, because I really believe that our journey is not isolated. You know, we might have moved to America and, you maybe haven't had that experience, but in some way, there's always something we can learn from each other. So I'm going to keep downloading, and I'm going to keep trying to reconcile what this wrestle is within me, and maybe it'll be helpful to you too.